Hello, assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Aisha Khalid and welcome to my channel Math Madness by Aisha Khalid. So in the previous video, we discussed understanding the coordinate system, and then we discussed given the function which is also called the equation of the line. How do we find out y value when x is given and x value when y is given? Now, we will now learn how to make the equation of the line. Just like your name might be John, my name is Aisha, and my friend's name is Sarah. So our names are our identities. So similarly, the lines on a coordinate axis can be like anywhere. For example, if I draw a coordinate axis, x and y axis together is called my coordinate axis. Now the line can be like this, the line can be like this, the line can be a vertical line, the line can be a horizontal line. The line can be an upward sloping line but with a different slope. So how to define each line? What is the identity of the line? The identity of the line is its equation. And what is equation of line? The equation of line is y equals to mx plus c. And you have seen in the previous video that in equation, x and y are the variables. So that doesn't require any value, right? It's like it's a variable, so the equation is in the form of a variable. What is m and c? M is my gradient and c is my y-intercept. Now, what is my gradient? Gradient is the slope of the line. Meaning the gradient defines you how steep or how flat a line is. Now, this is very important concept that I'm teaching you. Y-intercept is where the line cuts the y-axis. So, if I look at these points, this is my C, this is my C, this is my C. So these are so many different C's for different lines. Now, how do we define the gradient? We will learn that later. But let's learn how to make the equation of the line given the gradient and y-intercept. For example, if they say, find equation of line with gradient 2 and y-intercept 3. Gradient is 2. That means y equals to mx plus c is my formula for equation of the line. So I just need to input y equals to 2x plus 3. Okay. Now there are different ways of writing the equation. The equation can be written like this. So many different ways of writing an equation. It can also be written like this. Now, what we can do is we can write all the equations above in the form y equals to mx plus c, where the coefficient of x is gradient and the constant will be the y-intercept. So let's do the rearranging. Let's label all the lines. Let's work on the A line first. It's 7y minus 5x equals to 11. Move this 5x to the other side. Now y7 to the other side in division. Now I'm individually dividing it. I'm not keeping a single denominator. Why? Because the coefficient of x is my gradient and this is my y-intercept. That means if I were to make a rough sketch, So it's going to be something like this. You don't need to write the gradient, just gradient just defines the slope of the line. And I haven't discussed the gradient concept in detail. So for now, sketching is just there to, help you out. Otherwise, if you don't get it, it's perfectly fine. Okay, let's look at the B equation now. Y equals to minus 1 upon 3x plus 7. This thing is also called the gradient intercept form. So this equation B is already in the gradient intercept form, meaning the gradient is 3 minus 1 upon 3 and the intercept is 7. Let's look at the C equation. X equals to y minus 5. Requires a bit of rearrangement. Y minus 5 comes there. Write it like this now. When there is no coefficient, it means the coefficient is 1. So that's my gradient. And 5 is my y-intercept. Now, what's next? Let's look at D. D is 3y minus x equals to 5. Let's make y the subject. Now, what is the gradient here? 1 upon 3. What is the intercept here? 5 upon 3. Now, let's look at the E part. 5y equals to minus 5. Now, this 5 will go on the other side and divide. So, 3 into 5 is a 15x. Cancels out. Now, let's pick up the gradient. The gradient is going to be a minus 2 upon 15. And the intercept is going to be minus 1. So in this video, we did two concepts. Given the gradient and y-intercept, how do we write the equation of the line? And given the equation of the line in any form, how do we change it into a gradient intercept form? And how do we pick up the gradient and intercept from the equation of the line? These are very important concepts because when we do coordinate geometry, all these concepts will be carried forwarded. Now we're looking at just a couple of questions. So you can see what kind of questions are there in the exercise. State the gradient and y-intercept. So gradient is 4, intercept is a minus 3. Sign is taken along, okay? Gradient is minus 1 and intercept is a plus 7. Gradient is 0 because there is no x here and the c is 6. A very important question. When it's just y is equals to 6, it's basically something like this. So the gradient is 0 and the intercept is 6. Y equals to 6x. Let's do the C part here. Gradient is 1 and intercept is a 5 upon 2. 7.16 minus 0.56. So rearrange it. The coefficient of x is always the gradient. And this is going to be my y-intercept. Y equals to 6x, gradient here, plus 0. This is my intercept. So the intercept here is 0. Let's look at the second question. The second question says, state the equation of the line given the gradient and y-intercept. Let's do the B part. So you know the formula is y is equals to mx plus c. Y equals to minus 7x minus 2. That's my answer. Now, let's look at the F part. Gradient is 0. Minus half. So this becomes a 0. So the equation of the line becomes y equals to minus half. Okay, let's look at C part. Gradient is 1. Intercept is a minus 2 upon 3. Y equals to mx plus c. That's my answer. That's about it, folks. Stay tuned for my next video where I will discuss how to sketch or how to graph the equation of the lines on a